Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Beautiful souls, we're going to be asking for immediate guidance from Spirit, from Source, from your Spirit team, and looking at the week ahead. I know some of you really like to sit with me as I draw the cards. These, literally, in my preparations, I always sort of like pick up cards, handle them, see which packs are wanting to come through for the reading. As I picked up this pack and was just kind of doing a little bit of a shuffle and thinking these are right, these three cards literally came out and I knew they were our cards. But I will now draw the runes and the charms with you. So we are having three piles today, as always. We're asking for immediate guidance. I post these readings every Sunday. Let's draw runes as well. I hope you guys are all doing really well. And if you are following my readings week in, week out, and thank you, I know some of you do follow these weekly readings. Today is actually a new moon. It's a new moon in Leo. So pretty magnificent timing. I've done new moon readings and I posted them a couple of days ago ahead of the time because we were asking very specifically for guidance and advice about new moon wishes and intentions, and step-by-step detailed information for you to manifest your wishes and dreams, to bring them into reality. So if you haven't yet checked them out, it may be worthwhile doing so. And we may, of course, get guidance in these readings today that follow on or connect with those previous readings. So I'll put the link, by the way, I'll stick the link in the description box and in the comments. And of course, I'll be putting the timestamps in there and all the cards I'm using as well. So no more waffling. Let's move into our readings. Let's draw runes. So, pile one, you have the rune of Gibo. This is a gift or partnership. And this is your card. Let me show you the cards in detail as well while we draw the runes. So this is for pile one. This is the card with the rune of Gibo. And I'm going to draw you a charm as well. And your charm is a swift or a swallow. I'm not sure which it is, swift or a swallow. Okay. Then pile two, this is your card. And with this card for pile two, we have Perth, the rune of initiation. We also have, let's see what is coming through here. We also have a cherub, like a little, looks like a love cherub firing an arrow. Okay, so that is for pile two. And pile three, here we go, before I draw the runes, or draw the charms rather. This is your card for pile three. Okay, so pile three, this is your rune. You have the rune of Hagalaz, sometimes known as the rune of disruption, also known as the rune of the Great Awakener. And we have a pair of ballet shoes. How interesting. Look at that. Little pair of shoes. Beautiful. Okay, so those are your piles, your cards, your runes, your charms. As always, as I said, the timestamps, the cards I'm using, everything is in the description box, and I will put it in a comment too. I'm going to leave the video running for a little bit longer for anyone that just wants to get still, get centered, and sort of see which of the readings you're tuned into. Sometimes more than one reading will speak to you. If that is singing for you, then it's probably worth watching more than one. For some it's one, for some it's all. Beautiful souls, I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. We are asking for an immediate message from your spirit team, from Source, from the Great Mystery, and we are also potentially going to look at the week ahead. Now, you have this beautiful card along with a Swift and also the rune of Gibo. Now, this is a new pack of cards. They actually have a message on the back. I'm going to read it to you. I've not used these before in any of the readings, so it's the first time they've come forward to be used. They are, for me, relatively new. Beautiful pack called the Sacred Vision Oracle Cards, just to let you know what this pack is. Now, let's read the message to you on the reverse of the card. This is card number 14, Time, the Doorway, West, Black. Life can be a medley of delight when the painting of your path begins to fray within your own lodge of thought. Shift your mind's eye to that of a placid sea. See the brilliant path of silver moonlight that comes across the water to bring you safely home. Let the clarity of light fill you with radiant colours as you surround yourself with the protection of the ancestors. This is the time of your becoming. What wonders do you dream of for yourself? Very, very interesting. So, what I'm hearing is a doorway is opening for you. This is beautiful. When the painting of your path begins to fray within your own lodge of thought, shift your mind's eye to that of a placid sea. See the brilliant path of silver moonlight that comes across the water to bring you safely home. I feel, it almost feels for me as if you're coming of age. And I don't mean that in a, I'm kind of mindful of what that might sound like. We are all at different ages and stages of our soul's evolution on our human earth walk. And so actually you're coming of age. Something is coming to you, the gift, Gibo, the rune of partnership, of gift. It's also coming swiftly to you. Excuse me. I think it is literally going to just like fly into your world. How interesting. You're coming of age. The reason it's flying into your world is because you've done the work. So I just want to really honour that. It's a really clear message coming through, a validation. You've done the work. You've worked hard to be where you are. And therefore, you know, some kind of a reward is coming to you, and it will be a perfect fit for you. Whether this is a person or a situation or a circumstance or a set of circumstances, something, you know, could even just be an element of, gosh, you find your peace of mind, you're liberated, free of something that's held you back. But it does feel as though there is something in your external world that's arriving in your, within the immediacy of you. A doorway opened, a pathway being lit before you because you've done the work. So great honour is what I feel here. Great honour and the perfect fit. Let's draw your oracle cards first. See what we're shown, and then we'll move to your tarot. Okay. The fourth house, your home and the roots of your being. How interesting that this card in the message, let me move this and just read that again. It literally says, you know, that see the brilliant path of silver moonlight that comes across the water to bring you safely home. You are experiencing some kind of an awakening, but something is coming in that is, it really is the perfect fit. Whatever that place or that person or that community, you feel like you've come home to yourself in some way. I do think it is an external something that aligns with you, something you have wanted. What else do we have here? Let's draw a flowers card. You have Willow. Willow is all about emotion, the depth of emotion, something that feels so right, something you've been searching for. It's also, Willow is very much about water as well. There is your spirit animal guide. I can't believe this. The bear and the cedar, leadership. How interesting, because this is a card of the West, and the West is the direction in a medicine wheel, or certainly in the teachings I've been very lucky to receive. The West is the place of the bear. Wow, it's that place of where the bear hibernates, goes into the cave, not just to sort of slumber and sleep, but actually the bear enters the dream time and processes all of the experiences that he or she has experienced that year, and they enter the dream time, and then they come out of the cave ready and fresh for the new. You're coming home to yourself, you've grown. And because of that, you've taken charge of situations, I'm hearing as well with the card of leadership. You've had to step up. This is what I'm seeing here. You've actually had to step up, and you did. You stepped up rather than you stepped down. Gosh, a lot of what's coming through in your reading, we're asking for an immediate message, but you know, yes, there's an immediate message that's assuring you or seems to be telling you that something is about to kind of fly into your world. But there is so much honouring and acknowledgement for you here. There really, really is. Let us draw one more card, one more oracle card, and then we'll draw tarot cards. Bittersweet, huh? Yeah, you've had to step up, beautiful souls. I think you have had to step up, and it has not been easy. But you did step up. I think some of you have held your ground over something that was really right. Could have been something connected to your home and your family. There's a bittersweet energy where maybe some of you may even have had to cut some ties or cut some cords, or come to an acceptance of the fact that perhaps some people in your world just were never going to change, and you've had to draw the line around something. But you are now ready to move forwards and find exactly what does fit with you, rather than tolerating or putting up with something that doesn't. And that is what's coming through here. Very, very beautiful message. A lot of honour, a lot of recognition, and the message is literally saying to you, something is about to fly into your world, a pathway is opened, because you deserve it. Let's draw your tarot cards and get further guidance and information. Your message is very clear. Is there anything, can we ask, anything that pile one should be doing, or should be actively doing or responding with, or can we be shown any further information around this? And indeed, may we ask about the coming week as well? Is there anything that pile one need to actively do with this? You have the Three of Pentacles. So I did say I felt like something is physically coming into your world. Interesting, isn't it? Because this is a henge. We're seeing a henge here, which is, of course, a medicine wheel. Wow. It's with the three, it's a turning point. All the threes in the tarot are a turning point. We're moving from a space where we've done some work, and now a new chapter is opening. I mean, literally, I'm seeing a space of opening. Great power coming to you, but empowerment in the best way. I don't mean power over others. It's that sense of knowing your own power. There's no misuse of power here. There's knowing your own power. You've had to step up, and you did, and you have. We have the Four of Swords. How interesting. I'm seeing a state of sort of dormancy. We then have the Empress, another 3. We then have the card of Judgment. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. You really are at a space of a new beginning. A doorway is opening up for you. Now, in whatever area of your world this is very personal to you. This is very much about your energy. It's very much about your world and the work you've done and the fact that you've stepped up. Something is realigning in you, almost like at a cellular level. You're going to be shown signs and signals. Look at the Queen of Wands and the runes coming in here. Look at the runic marker on this tree here. My beautiful souls, yes, I think there will be action to take with the Eight of Pentacles. There's work to be done, you know, stuff to do, to busy yourself, to be manifesting, to be doing what you want to do, to be you in the world, to make stuff happen. With the card of Judgment, I'm seeing you rising, literally rising. After a period where I think you've had to work very hard, but you've done the work and you're through it, basically. You're now entering a period of fertility with the Empress. The timing is absolutely right for you to start kind of really holding your own mindset with the Ace of Swords, putting aside any conflicts of the past. I feel you are unencumbered. Whereas something was causing you difficulty, you've had to ponder it, you've had to meditate, you've had to get still, you've had to process, but you're really coming out the other side. This is really acknowledging this. And yes, there is that little bit of bittersweet energy, but we can't change, we can't change everything. It reminds me of that lovely serenity prayer, which comes into the readings every now and then, actually. God grant me the grace to recognize what I can change, to recognize what I can't change the things I can't, have the courage to change the things I can change, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I sort of feel that you're in that zone, and there is a bittersweet energy. If there was something we wanted to work at or with someone or with a situation, and we've, you've had to accept that you can't, it wouldn't change. But I feel you've reached some sort of acceptance where something that might once have really pressed your buttons doesn't press your buttons anymore. Your energy is now, you're now open and available to receive as you come out of your cave, metaphorically, and something is about to be gifted and offered to you. It will be a perfect fit, whatever this is. Some of you may have an inkling of what this is because you'll know what you're wanting to manifest. The signs will be shown to you, so you'll know what to do and when to do it. So be alert to signs, be aware of synchronicities, keep yourself open and available to sort of see how the world is and the universe is offering you signals, signs, synchronicities. Give yourself meditation breaks so that any residue of anything is no longer present. I do feel you really have put something down, actually. I do feel you are unencumbered. Just be conscious and aware. Something is coming in. There will be things you need to do, but just at every step of the way, a sign, a signal will be shown to you, so you'll know what to do. You'll know what action to take. The Eight of Pentacles is... it's a busy, active card. We're doing things. We're making stuff happen. Physically, we are manifesting. So you're going to be a co-creator. This could be somebody coming in to co-create with you, whatever that would mean for you. Someone, the bear and cedar, somebody who honours and values who you are and wants you to step into a position of leadership. I largely think the leadership card here, bear and cedar, is more to do with you stepping into your own leadership qualities, your own sovereignty, your own agency. And cedar is a wonderful herb. Cedar is a really strong grounding tree. If you ever have the greatest fortune to sit with a cedar tree and sit and meditate with a tree, yes, we're seeing this here actually. It may not be a cedar tree for you, but go out in nature. I always think when you sit with a tree, take your time. I've noticed people, and how lovely, rushing up and hugging a tree. Take your time. Ask the tree, is it okay for me to come and sit with you? You'll know. It'll be a really clear yes or a no. Ask the tree. If they are willing for you to sit with them, take your time. Sit with that tree, listen. They are the carriers of wisdom, and they will impart such messages to you if you are open to receive them. Interesting, with this Eight of Pentacles, we see another tree here, and look what's sitting in the tree, the owl, a symbol of wisdom, and all of the nature spirits around. Yeah, if you're needing to know how to navigate your way forwards, and we have a fox. Foxes are very astute, very clever. They're very adaptable as well. You'll know what to do. You'll be shown what to do. I think many messages will come to you, signs, synchronicities, through nature, actually. Look up at the sky. Get still. Everything you need to know will come to you, but something is swiftly coming into your world. I think you'll be an active participant, either working with someone or responding to something, or indeed in following that pathway, that beautiful light across the water that this card speaks of, that guides you and shows you the way. Pile 1, this is magnificent. Your message is clear, a gift is arriving. It could well be in the shape of a person, because this is the rune of partnership too. And yeah, there's so much honouring of you, and also an acknowledgement that assistance is coming in terms of signs, synchronicities, events. Put down anything that is left. I think there's very little left. I think you have really reached a place of acceptance, and rightly so. And this is feeling on the day of a new moon. If you are watching this, these are timeless readings. If you're watching this in 2 years' time, well, there is the essence of a new beginning around you. The timing of that new moon energy is very much around you in this moment that you come to this reading. Pile 1, this is absolutely lovely, and really, really I wish to honour you and offer you the respect that I really feel is being granted to you and shown to you. Tons of love. I look forward to seeing you for another reading really soon. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing, for subscribing. If you want to make sure you never miss a reading, subscribe and hit the little bell icon. Thank you to those of you who are connected in other ways with the work that I do. And yeah, thank you for all of your comments as well. It is wonderful to hear how you're doing. Tons of love, beautiful souls. Pile 2, welcome to your reading, beautiful souls. We're asking for an immediate message. We may look at the week ahead if that feels right. Now, these beautiful cards have a message on the back, so I'm going to read it to you. We have card number 1, observe, border patrol. This is the south of the medicine wheel, and the colour is red. A great teaching is in... I need to put my glasses on. A great teaching is in watching your mind. Okay, process and do nothing at all. Be like a stalker of the mind. Watch thoughts passing by with no judgment or moral concepts. The knack of meditation and the rest of the warrior spirit is to simply watch. For example, to observe this painting, feel the tone of the colours, experience the passion behind the ancient symbols, and move into the spirit from which it was created. Sense the movement of air from the hummingbird's wings and the impeccability of its nature. He is a great warrior, beyond compare, as are you. Hummingbirds are extremely territorial, passionately defending their airspace. Medicine bundles are symbols reminding the owner of proper thought and action. As guardians of our own airspace, we too must exude the passion, grace and beauty of the hummingbird. Great food for thought. So let us just do exactly that. Let's just for a moment observe this card. Now, some of you will know I'm working on a very, very big course to teach people to read. And in many ways, what I'm actually doing is teaching you to listen. You know, to listen not just to the cards, but to absolutely everything, to yourself, to life, as it flows through you, as you are a witness to yourself, to everything around you. And I feel that's very present in this card and in the message it brings. So really notice any elements of this card that are really speaking to you. Okay, the symbols within it, the hummingbird, the beads, a little firebird by the look of it in the middle of that image here of this coin or token. There's a bell. See if there is anything in there that is actually resonating with you. I feel that, and we'll see how that fits with the reading. I'm just going with this, so as I always do. We have Perth, the rune of initiation. This is a really interesting rune to get with this card. You know, be a watcher, be an observer, because the rune of Perth speaks of a very, very personal element of your journey. it's like a rite of passage, but particularly of your spiritual journey, a spiritual pathway. It may be that you are being shown a very clear direction. We have the cherub here firing an arrow. It may be that actually your spirit team are trying to show you, get you to notice, to see, to observe, to witness, be aware of. Signs, signals that I think may be directing you on your life's purpose. And I will say your life's purpose at this moment in time. I think our life purpose can actually operate on more than one level. You know, if we think of, you know, for example, you could be following your life purpose or your calling in an element of your work, but simultaneously you could be starting a family, in which case another element of your calling or purpose at the moment would be to become a conscious and aware parent. So, you know, we are working in more than one area of our lives on manifesting different levels of calling and purpose. But there is something that I feel your spirit team are trying to guide you towards. They're firing arrows to assist you in following a particular pathway that is absolutely right for you. And they're wanting you to become an observer, a noticer of the signs and the symbols they are showing you. This is the first message that is coming through for you today. Let's draw your oracle cards next. How interesting that at the time, wow, Uranus, at the time of doing these readings, you could be watching this reading in 2 years' time. It's a timeless reading, so there will be the element of new beginnings around you. But I am doing these readings on the day of a new moon. We have Uranus. Wow, now this is huge to come in light of what I've just said. Uranus, your potential for sudden change, enlightenment and awakening. I mean, wow. You couldn't write it, could you? Enlightenment and awakening. I mean, this is this very personal spiritual journey. We have Willow. Willow came out in pile 1. If pile 1 was singing to you, then there may be information there for you. Willow speaks of emotions. Willow is a tree with the, as far as I know, almost like the, not exactly the deepest roots, but the widest spread roots. Willows find water. They connect with water. They connect with emotions. Weeping willows are associated with loss, bereavement, with, again, transition, with processing something, but processing emotionally. Now, there could be around you some quite sudden changes going on. They may well have already happened. And you may be really feeling quite shaken up. Uranus wakes us up. But, you know, sometimes that wake-up call or that wake-up or that shaking up is, wow, I really wanted this. Thank you so much. And sometimes it's like, seriously, universe? What, you know, where did that come from? Somebody threw you a curveball. It's like, where did that come from? You know, we have days like that, don't we, where things aren't running smoothly. And it's like, come on, universe, what's happening? Actually, something is happening. Signs are being given to you, but we tend to interpret stuff that isn't going the way we want it to as something that's negative, whereas sometimes it's actually a series of signs. It could be getting you to slow down so that you see something else if there's a lot of disruption going on. But there's definitely an energy here. This is your first message, your immediate message, which is your spirit team are really trying to talk to you. They are trying to take you in a particular direction. You may be having quite a lot of emotional reactivity to what's taking place around you with Willow. And again, slow that down. Try to be responsive rather than reactive. You might actually be interested. I wrote a book some years ago, actually. It's called 7 Steps to Spiritual Empathy. It really is, it's an easy book to read. It's like a 7-day read. If you wish to do it, you can take your time and do it in longer. But they really are bite-sized chapters. And these are the 7 steps to really learn to listen. To listen to yourself, to listen to others, to listen to all of life as it flows through you. And that book, every day there is information and then an exercise as well. So in a really pragmatic way, you can develop empathy as a spiritual way of life, you know, really being able to listen. It may interest some of you. I will put the link In fact, note to self, remember to put it in the links. Actually, I will put the link in the description for you, somewhere near the top for you, for those of you that are interested. Okay, you have the Fox and Ivy, adaptability. Yeah, change is going on around you, beautiful souls. If you're feeling a little bit phased by it, truly, it's purposeful. It really is purposeful. Even if it feels disruptive, there is purpose, and it is here to assist you. Complacency. It is here to shake you out of your comfort zone, actually. Whatever this is, so whatever's going on in your world, if it's feeling brilliant, but you're like, whoa, this is a roller coaster, it's amazing, but you know, this is just more than I can cope with. Cope with it, adapt. You can do this. Don't fall into complacency. If it's something that really feels like you've just had a curveball thrown at you, it's coming in to create a change that is needed. It really is. So get still. Be an observer of what is going on rather than being in it. If we're in it, we can't see the woods for the trees. If you are an observer of what's going on, you will notice what is really happening. You'll notice the bigger picture, you'll see what is really taking place, and you'll see the guidance that's actually being brought to you. And it's very valuable information. It's really there to assist you. You're being very, very guided at this moment in time. And of course, just going back to this card, you know, the south direction. In my own, the learning that I have been very, very, very gifted to receive, I do feel enormously gifted to have received teachings from native traditions, and in my own understanding of the medicine wheel, the south is an entry point. It's a space of almost like rebirth, where, you know, new souls come into the medicine wheel. It's a space where we can re-find our innocence and our trust, learn to play again, learn to live with more vibrancy. However, I will also say sometimes I think it's a big wall to climb over. So even though, you know, the liberation, the freedom, the rebirth, the delight, the joy, hummingbirds are associated with joy. They're also very flexible, very adaptable. They can fly in every direction. So the freedom that comes from that south direction energy is remarkable. Absolutely mind-blowingly amazing. But it's a big wall sometimes that we have to climb over to address the lessons that come our way. Not always easy life lessons, but you are being guided. There is no question of it. And this is a very deeply personal pathway that you're on at the moment. There's something of your awakening taking place in a very, very special way. Now let us, as I've picked up this tarot pack, a card at the base has literally, it didn't come with the pack, so we'll use this as our first Eight of Wands. I'm seeing you literally walking possibly away from something, but look at you walking out of the woods with all these signs, all these runic symbols on these sort of stakes and staffs here. Eight of Wands. You're being guided, you're being protected. We have the boar, energy of courage, a fox, adaptability. And look at this, you have the fox again, so adaptability, versatility, and the wolf. This is so personal. I'm seeing a lone wolf. This is so, so personal to you. We also see a horse, empowerment. There are other, well, two horses in fact, and a little rabbit as well, a little hare, so fertility. You're being guided towards a period of growth, of fertility, or guided into a period of growth and fertility. This is an opportunity actually not to be missed, but it may be a little disruptive as it's arriving. May we get further information, guidance, as to any information and guidance, particularly in the coming week for pile 2, please. May we ask for information and guidance for pile 2, please. May we ask for guidance and information for pile 2, please. May we have further information and guidance for pile 2. I think that's right. We can always draw more if needed. Eight of Wands, Seven of Cups, Two of Cups, and the Fool. Fantastic. We have the Fool and the card of Strength. Let me move these along. We're not going to have space for everything. We then have the Two of Pentacles. Fantastic. We have the Page of Cups, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and actually we have one more, which I'm pretty certain we can squeeze them all in if we put them very close together like this. I think we've got room for one more card coming in. Just coming in here, the Eight of Swords. I love this Eight of Swords. You know, traditionally in many packs, the Eight of Swords feels a bit like, you know, you're really facing challenges. Look at the empowerment, the wisdom in the owl sitting above her. Walking through, finding sight, being able to gain insight. Again, of course, coming back to that primary message in this beautiful card. Get still and notice. Don't sit in a place where many Eight of Swords, we see people blindfolded. Often that's an image in many packs. Don't be blindfolded to what is going on around you just because it feels disruptive or a little bit chaotic or difficult. Whatever challenges are around you, they are coming with purpose to create a new beginning. And with the Two of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, look at this labyrinth. You literally are being guided. Have the strength and the courage to kind of observe, get still, and navigate your week with awareness. I think you have an end goal with the Seven of Cups. I think there will be choices presented to you this week in your circumstances, in the immediacy of your world, that take you away from an area of challenge in your life. Have the courage. You've got, you know, the bear here. Look at the way she walks with this bear. You know, there's nothing hindering her. There are magical openings and beginnings that are being shown to you here. And there is so much promise around you with the Two of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. In real terms, something is beginning to manifest into your world. The Queen of Pentacles, she knows how to look after herself here. Page of Cups is a card of celebration, early stages of success. I think that there are actions to take. I think you'll be shown some things, possibly coming in through some disruption, but nevertheless, or whatever that will be. But you'll be shown some things if you're open to seeing them, if you can get still and observe and notice. Circumstances around you, which is why that's your primary message. Circumstances around you are going to create, there will be a situation, it could already be in front of you. If not, I think circumstances this week are going to be shown to you where you will need to take an action. You'll need to navigate a circumstance or a situation with awareness, because it is leading you forwards. It's taking you to a point of celebration where in many ways I think you'll sort of begin to see that there really is a higher purpose. I think there'll be real signals and signs that not only show you that something is purposeful, but you'll see a result, so you'll know it's purposeful. You'll know that whatever happened, if there was a big disruption in your world or something unexpected happened, I always think with Uranus, expect the unexpected. So if something unexpected shows up, trust that it's arriving with purpose. Get still and notice it, observe it, and respond rather than react. And as you navigate with awareness, it's like you'll be shown the signs and the signals to show you what it means and why and how to navigate it. And as you come through that, it will really make sense to you, and you'll be like, wow, I'm so much further along than I thought I'd be. Gosh, there was a real bigger picture around that. Really, really valuable. Really, really valuable week for you, and a valuable learning. It's part of your own initiation on your spiritual pathway, on your pathway as a spiritual warrior, to really embrace your union, your connection, your relationship with spirit, with source, with the great mystery, and begin to become a very active co-creator in your world. And this is like a learning week when something of great value, I think, a great benefit will come to you. The key is to be able to observe, notice and see, so that you navigate in alignment with all the signs and the signals that are being shown to you every step of the way. Wow. 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 Even more wow. Pile 2, this is really, really interesting. If you haven't yet checked out the new moon readings, or in fact the all zodiac sign readings for this moon month, if you're watching it as I'm uploading it. I'll put the links below, you might want to check those out. This is a significant time of happenings, so an amazing time for personal growth, awareness, and you are being elevated. Your awareness is being heightened, your capacity to hear, to listen, to see is being heightened, and within that, definitely opportunities being opened for you. Feels very exciting. It may be that this is not always easy. I will fully acknowledge that, particularly with the fox and the lone wolf showing up and the horse empowerment. But whatever is going on around you, even if it is challenging, there is a stepping up to be done here that is really valuable for you, and the insight you are going to gain is phenomenal. Pile 2, I'm sending you the biggest hug. Thank you for being here. It's such an honor to read for you. I am sending you all the love in the world. Thank you so much for liking, sharing. If you want to never miss a reading, subscribe and hit the little bell icon. And thank you for commenting as well. It is really wonderful to hear your stories. Tons of love to you all, and I look forward to seeing you again for another reading really soon. Pile 3, welcome to your readings. We are asking for an immediate message from Spirit, from Source, from your Spirit team. And these cards have a very, very beautiful message written on the back, so I'm going to read it to you. We also have the ballet shoes and Hagelas. The rune of disruption, the rune of great awakening. Now your card is the card of legacy, 26, the Mallory Commission, East, yellow. So East is, and yellow is, we're talking about some sort of new beginning here. Lover to lover and parents to child. We unite and live on throughout the ages, generation upon generation. What will your story be? Remember that you are part of an expansive human family, past, present, future, and all are travelling together on this boat named Earth. Though our journeys may be experienced differently, our destination, our home is shared. Each journey is intertwined. You are at the beginning of a new cycle within your own story. Your parents have their own separate stories, and all 3 stories were agreed upon. Predetermined, but still separate. You have responsibility, an expected path, but expectations can be broken. Your inner child has a chance to reframe inherited pain. Negative genetics wither away in the joy of knowing with higher awareness in new positive cycles. My apologies. Wow. Okay. This is very, very interesting because it's such a joyous card. I see you going against the grain. I see you walking to the beat of your own drum. I see you dancing different steps. I see you making a choice and doing it very joyously. With Hagelas, sometimes Hagelas can indicate that we reach a point where we simply aren't prepared to do something anymore. It's like, do you know what? Can't wear that coat. Doesn't fit with me anymore. Not doing it. Not right for me anymore. I feel there is something in you that is really resonating with a kind of a, in a very joyous way, kind of, sending you love. But, if that's your bag, that's okay. I have no power over you, but you certainly don't have power over me. These are the steps I'm walking. I feel there is a sense of confidence growing in you, a sense of joy in doing what is right for you, as opposed to feeling like you have to comply to someone else's ways. Breaking out of the mold, choosing to walk your own pathway. Let's draw oracle cards for you. We're asking for an immediate message for you from Spirit, Uranus. This came out in pile 2. It's very, very interesting. So pile 2 may have a message for you as well. If you were drawn to it, I would definitely check it out. Interesting, because I think Hagelas is just like the energy of Uranus. It's the great awakener. Uranus shakes us up, or shakes up our world. It's very different because I feel sometimes with Uranus, it can feel like something happens very suddenly, and it can feel like, you know, on the one hand, it could be a change that you're longing for. On the other hand, it could feel like a brick to the head, and it's just like, you know, where did that come from? I think for you, this is actually really, really what you want. This feels like a change is happening, and you know you want it. You don't want to do something anymore. You want your pathway. You want to sing your own song. You want to dance your own steps. Your potential for sudden change, enlightenment and awakening. Let's draw more cards as well. Okay. There we are. You have the card of Chestnut. Card number 7. How interesting that we have, I don't know if you can see this, but at the back of this card, there's like a sleigh, almost looks like a Santa sleigh, but with loads of toys and all kinds of lovely things in this beautiful boat. And we have a clown here. Very, very interesting. I think with the clown showing up here, first of all, I don't think you're going to wear any kind of masks that you feel you had to wear. I remember years and years and years ago, so I'm going back a long time, to my very first ever counselling training, which is showing my age if I tell you how long ago that was, because it was a very long time ago. There was somebody in the group that I very first trained with. And I remember in our kind of like self-awareness group, and I can share this, I have her permission to share this. It was a really interesting example. She said, as a child, I was required to be happy. And I've spoken with her about it. It's such an interesting statement. As a child, I was required to be happy. And I think it was like somehow she had to put a face on everything. It's really interesting because I am seeing a beautiful shining figure here. I'm seeing you rise in your own right. I'm seeing you no longer have to be anything that was required. And I'm seeing the joy and the happiness that comes from no longer having to wear a mask, no longer having to be anything that anybody else wants you to be, in a really, really beautiful way. Change is around you. We have the snake and the fern starting over. You just couldn't write it, could you? I love the way the cards just bring us such constant affirmations and confirmations. It's such a blessing, and I feel so honoured to read. Yeah, I'm honoured to read for you, beautiful souls, really, truly. This is magnificent. Some area of your world is starting over. And the message here is, at the moment, of validation, but let's see what else we're shown. Facade. Look at this again, a facade. Now, this does bring a very special message to you. Okay. So, I think you've reached that point where you really are within your own soul's evolution at a time in your world, at a time on your earth walk, where you don't have to be what other people require you to be. However, I'm also going to say, I think there is a very clear message here asking you not to put pressure on yourself to have to constantly achieve, because the story that comes with this card of facade is that this lovely man here stepped up as a child. He was, again, required to be something. As a child, he had to take on huge responsibilities, which he did. And he spent his lifetime then repeating those patterns, being responsible for others, doing what others needed, always stepping up in the line of duty, and helped so many people. But there was a certain point at the end of his life when he sort of was able to recover his inner child and learn to play again, because he'd reached the point in his life where he'd spent his whole life in service and in duty, and there is nothing wrong. I mean, we all ultimately, I think the greatest gift in this on our earth walk is to be of service, to recognise we are part of the whole. But if this comes with a sense of obligation or duty, in fact, I would say of what I call fog, fear, obligation, guilt, then it's not right. And even if you are stepping up willingly in service constantly, your spirit team are saying to you, hang on a minute, Could we bring things into balance here? Let's start over and let's bring your life into balance, and we'd like to see you have some fun. It's time for your Christmas to come in. It's time for you to receive some gifts. If you have been brought up in a world where your genetic lineage have lived in lack, to the point where almost resentment grows because and gets acted out, because actually if you constantly live in lack and you don't actually receive proper validation for the services you give, ultimately resentment will breed, or you'll become a doormat and people will step all over you and you'll end up feeling really not okay. The energy around you is about starting over afresh. There is real opportunity for fertility. Chestnut buds are so full of fertility. Whether you look at a horse chestnut or a chestnut tree, they bring fruits, amazing fruits. The seeds are so big and full of vitality. Facade, you no longer have to be something that you think you have to be. This is responding to some area of your world. This is both a validation and a message asking you to remove any sense of obligation or duty. It doesn't mean you let go of responsibilities, but you keep them in check. I remember one of you, I do read your comments, thank you for commenting so much. Somebody wrote and said, this is easier said than done, when a subject similar to this, it was a different reading, but something similar to this came up about, actually feeling obliged to be looking after others rather than looking after yourself. And someone in the comments said, this is hard, easier said than done. I have an elderly relative who is very dependent, in which case part of that particular reading was about delegation, recognizing that, maybe that person needs to receive help from more than just you. It doesn't mean you relinquish your obligation, but you find a way of navigating that obligation in a way that you are still looked after. Things are still in balance. This feels like you are needing to, you've had enough of something. It's no longer working for you. It doesn't mean you're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but you certainly need to bring things in balance and start afresh, and not wear, the masks that you believed you had to wear, not have to present a face to everything when something isn't okay, not have to go it alone, but absolutely make time to play. Your reading is really clear, your message is really clear. Whatever is going on for you, pile 3, it's really, really clear that your spirit team want you to have a balanced life. You are amazing. You give so much to so many people. I'm really seeing that, but it's time for you to be you as well. And as I said, interesting enough, you change the genetic inheritance. If you're living through a pattern that has been inherited, it could even be a pattern where you comply to something that really isn't okay. Well, you're not going to comply anymore. The spirit of change is around you. Let's get information for the coming week and find out any further guidance and information about the coming week for you. How might this pan out? Can we please get further guidance and assistance for my beautiful pile 3? Okay, we have the Page of Swords. I feel this is a point where you can be liberated. Very interesting, isn't it? Look at the imagery on this Page of Swords, because he has a falcon. Now with falconry, I think it's very, very interesting that, in falconry, a falcon is ultimately being kept by someone. I mean, this is like a wild bird that works with someone, but the falcon is still free to fly. They work together. A good falconer, I dare say that there are some that aren't, heartbreakingly, but a good falconer will have a relationship with their birds and they work together. They're not afraid for the falcon to fly. There's somebody who lives in my area. I don't personally know them, but sometimes they walk in the field behind my house and they have a dog and they have a falcon, and the falcon flies. It's absolutely beautiful to watch. They really work together. So this is about having a working relationship, not a relationship with someone that tangles you or ties you, or there's no room for you to fly and be free and to play. Very, very clear. We have the Death card, so transformation, rebirth. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Six of Pentacles, Card of generosity. We have the Four of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, and then if I move these along, we will have room for your last card. Okay, which is the Knight of Swords. Right, what I see here, the additional guidance and advice, which I suspect, although it may be for this week, I think it could also be around the whole situation that you're in. But the advice and guidance is firstly that this really does have to change. You know, it's got to come to an end, and it's really important for you to make that choice, that decision. It might feel a bit conflicting, but actually it is absolutely right. And I think you know it. Through and through, you know it. You need to be able to fly. You need to have, or if you're going to remain in a situation, it needs to be working for all parties. And if not, maybe you just need to fly. Look at the Death card. It's interesting. She is on the back of a bird, flying. This is about you making a clear choice and feeling good about it. The Six of Pentacles is a card of generosity. I think your choices will be received more favourably than you think. I think you're concerned that making a decision and sort of saying no, or saying to somebody, look, I can't keep giving to you. I can't give you as much as you would like me to give. I think this is something that it's feeling like it's going to be really challenging for you. It's not going to be challenging. I think it's going to be received very favourably. If you are somebody's main carer and you've just reached a point where you can't do it, you can't do it all, you know, you're burning out, then this is the point when you sort of say, look, I can't do all of this. I just can't. You know, I need some time out for myself. You know, let's employ somebody else part-time, or let's get some additional help. Let's delegate. I'm just using a care example, but you know, this is about you liberating yourself. And I think you're going to see the results. You're going to see this turn around very quickly. Okay. I also think there will be a process to go through to put this in place. With the Knight of Swords, I'm seeing this bull. Look at it gingerly, carefully treading through these sort of circles. So it's step by step. I think whatever situation is around you, the outcome that's agreed, okay, the outcome that's agreed in whatever you have to navigate, to start over, to have some time for yourself, the outcome needs to be negotiated. You know, you don't just sort of suddenly say, let's get someone and magically they appear. It will need to be negotiated and worked out. There's going to be a practical solution, but it will come. Just navigate it thoughtfully, one step at a time, not in a rush. Just, you know, make sure everything is covered really well. But it's going to work for you. I mean, this is the point of your reading. It's really saying to you, this is going to work for you beautifully. You know, don't hide or feel you hide behind a mask, or wear a mask you feel you have to wear. Simply say how it is. This is not tolerable anymore. Or I can't do this, or I need to make a change. You know, however you do it, this is truly not going to be as difficult. There's generosity here. Whatever resources you need, what will come in for you to be able to create this shift, to open choices for you. And you may think they're challenging, but they're not going to be as difficult as you think. And truly, I think we're going to see a turnaround. We may not see the turnaround happen this week. Well, I think we will actually. The moment you own where you are and voice it, what you'll see is the turnaround where the changes then begin to emerge. And step by step, you can put those into place and make it happen, basically. So, pretty fab outcome. I do think there's negotiation, planning involved, but that planning needs to be done with openness, honesty, and in a way that all parties' needs are understood and met, without you being the provider of all. This is absolutely, you know, a clear message for you. Pile 3. I'm very conscious of something I wrote in one of the books I wrote, which is, you know, self-care is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of consciousness. So I just wish to voice that. I can't remember whether I wrote that in 7 Steps to Spiritual Empathy, which I spoke about that book in one of the previous readings. I think it might have been reading 1, or it was Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness. If any of you feel you've got people around you who are slightly emotionally blackmailing you or put you under pressure, Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness may be a book that really helps you. It will teach you how to take the most challenging emotions we have and actually use them as a higher vibrational tool to empower you on your journey. I will put links to, well, to be fair, what I'll do is in the description, I'll put a link to my author page on Amazon, and you can access any of the books there if you wish. Beautiful souls, I'm sending you all the love in the world. Thank you for being here. This feels like a very big turnaround and much needed, because you deserve to rise. And what you're actually doing, interestingly enough, at a level of soul, is you're shifting sort of generational patterns where things have been out of balance, and you're bringing balance into situations, and through the act of doing it, you are literally changing generational patterns and generational expectations, to be honest, of some form of inequality ultimately. So it's a really good thing that this is taking place. Pile 3, tons of love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. If you want to make sure you never miss a reading, subscribe, hit the little bell icon. Thank you for your comments. It is wonderful to read your stories. You're very inspirational. Thank you for being here. Tons of love.